Welcome back, race fans. Tonight, round number 3 of the top 16 for the Harpoon Design Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series here at the last Great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway, presented to you all by MaxspeedTV. Myself, Joshua Medlock. Will Roberts joining me up here again this week. Will, short track racing early on in the top 16. You know, this could be either a make it or break it for some drivers. Short tracks kind of like road courses. You know, you could either gain the points or lose the points. How you doing here tonight, buddy?
Doing wonderful tonight, this evening, Joshua. Hope you are doing the same. Yeah, Bristol, I agree with you. Short track racing, anytime you can get a short track or a couple in the playoffs, it's almost like throwing a road course in there or a super speedway. Unlike your regular type of mile and a half situations where you almost kind of, they're almost know what you're getting into. Bristol, oh man, so many challenges, like going into blind corners off the little short shoot straightaways we have here. You're going into just how the banking is set here, how you how your vision is through the windshield. It's kind of hard to see just a few car lengths in front of you as you're going through the corners. So if there's a car sideways on the track, you might not necessarily know that unless you, say, have a good spotter tonight. So one to watch. Like you said, who can stay clear of all the trouble that may come tonight?
Yeah, it definitely could be. You know, we've seen a couple of accidents in practice here. You know, we'll talk more about that here in just a little bit. They are coming down to the wire here of practice. They'll get into qualifying. We do have the pre-race analytics pulled up here already. Now, not a whole lot of wind out there, 1 to 3 miles an hour. It even dropped down to 0 there. Air tip of 84, track tip of 87. 250 laps here tonight in total. Now, stage here will be at the completion of lap 45. So when they hit 46, a white flag at 45, caution at 46, 133 and a quarter miles. 4 sets of tires, as always. Now, the 75% fuel here, that is going to put them in the ballpark of about 115 to 125 laps on fuel. Tires they're not going to hold up that long. We could see green flag pit stops, 50, 75 laps into the run. Tires, 10, 20 laps into it. I think they're going to be they're not going to be shot. They're not going to be, any major issues, but they are going to be some problems out here with the, trying to keep some rubber underneath the vehicles here this evening. Now, it is dual pit road, so pit road speed is 35 miles an hour with a pace speed of 40. Dual pit road means if they are on the front stretch, then they will come out of turn 4. If they are on the back stretch where their pit box is, they will go in their pit box out of turn number 2. If they do come down, if they're on the back, come down, and they will have to go all the way around to get into their pit box. That is how dual pit road works for everybody that does not understand the dual pit, single pit here at Bristol. Getting into the point standings, coming into round number 3 here. Mark Whitley up at the top at 31.07. Kyle Heath not too far back, only 9 points behind him at 30.98 in second. Brandon Sheets third at 30.78, 29 behind the leader and 20 behind Kyle. Chris Paffin fourth at 30.68, 39 behind the leader and 10 behind Brandon. Jim Coleman-Spurger up 4 spots into 5th at 30.55. 52 behind the leader and 13 behind Chris. Jeff Gilmore up a spot into 6th at 30.54. 53 behind the leader, 1 behind Jim. Robbie Stewart down a spot into 7th at 30.46. 61 behind the leader and 8 behind Jeff. Jason Adams up 2 spots into 8th at 30.45. 62 behind the leader and 1 behind Robbie. Keith Hurlbut is actually tied with Jason, so, they are only 1 point behind Robbie Stewart. Philip Bridgman in that 10th spot, up a spot here at 30.40, 67 behind the leader, but only 5 behind Hurlbut and Adams. Gary Slapinski up a spot into 11th at 30. at 30-33, 74 points behind the leader and 7 behind Bridgman. Zach Neuscher up 4 spots into that 12th spot, 30-30, 77 behind the leader and 3 behind Gary. Kevin Roy up 2 spots into 13th at 30-28, 79 behind the leader and 2 behind Zach. Robbie Darnell is down 10 spots into 14th at 30-25, 82 behind the leader and 3 behind Kevin. Hunter Hayward is down 2 spots as well into that 15th spot, 29.97, 110 behind the leader and 28 behind Robbie Darnell. And Clifton Ashley is going to round out the top 16, down 2 spots at 29.95, 112 behind the leader and 2 behind Hunter Hayward. So a lot of people, a lot of drivers can pick up some points here tonight. A pretty good sized field too, 22 drivers, so there is a lot at stake. We are under a minute to go here, folks, so we're going to step aside, play the national anthem provided by Madison Rising. Qualifying will be underway when we come back.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars and the rocket track, the bombs busting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the praise and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're watching MaxspeedTV.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. Qualifying is underway. Several drivers have put in a time out here tonight. It does look like Mark Whitley, as of right now, with a minute coming down to about a minute and a half left here, right now does have the pole, and if he continues to hang on to it, this would be his 5th pole in a row. He would grab the pole for the first 3 races of the top 16. Amazing feature just in that as itself. Mark Whitley, one of those drivers that everybody is trying to beat. And I do believe Mark Whitley is going to probably keep it. The 24 DuPont machine of Jason Adams is sitting at the exit of pit road. He might come out. He has got about 50 seconds left to do so, but I don't know if he will. He may start in the back. About half of the field did not qualify, so we'll see what happens. We're going to go ahead and grab Mark Whitley here and get him down here for his pole interview here tonight. Mark Whitley, buddy, got a copy?
Gotcha.
Hey, man, well, it marks your 5th pole in a row, and you have taken the first 3 in the top 16 for the chase. Now, the pole different from the race. It is short track racing out here tonight. Mark, how you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. This is one of my favorite tracks, so hopefully we can just stay up here and avoid all the crazy crap that goes on with these sometimes. So hopefully we just can stay up front and not have to worry about, being in the back of the pack with all the cautions. Hopefully we won't have that many. We're usually pretty good here, short track racing, so hoping it just goes green and we can just stay out front.
Yeah, clean air, man. It's going to be key out here tonight. Of course, you're going to have to, possibly deal with some lap cars out here tonight. I think that's going to be a key for you and everybody else, too. So, hopefully, like you said, it stays green. Everybody has a good time, and it makes it a clean race. I think the starts and restarts, though, is going to be a little bit tricky because everybody's, side by side. So, Mark, good luck out there. And again, congratulations on the pole, taking it the first 3 races here in the chase. Bud, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Right, we'll get him back up there and let his spotter contend with whatever his spotter has got to do. We're going to go ahead and get him on the grid here tonight once I get everything situated. A lot of stuff on my screen. All right, our MaxspeedTV starting grid here tonight. Mark Whitley with a 14.535. Again, congratulations to Mark on pole. Michael D. Walk going to have to watch at 8 here tonight. He is looking to go 2 in a row here, so we'll see what Michael can do. He's going to start on the outside of him in 2nd. Brandon Sheets 3rd. Kyle Heath 4th. Jeff Gilmore 5th. Zach Deutscher in 6th. Phillip Bridgman 7th. Chris Paff in 8th. Austin Slayers 9th. And Robbie Darnell rounding out the top 10. Will Gomez going to be starting 11th. John Held in 12th. Robbie Stewart 13th. Of the qualifiers, well, Gary Slapinski of the non-qualifiers is going to start back at 14th. Brandon Hartwell 15th. David Cassidy 16th. Larry Blair 17th. Jim Coleman-Spurger in 18th. Clifton Ashley 19th. And Paul Buscohen in 20th. Jason Adams 21st. Christopher Campbell 22nd. The 22 drivers out here tonight, folks. Will, this is going to be a show here tonight.
Yes, indeed. Like you alluded to, the initial start and the following restarts of the race, however we may see them, are going to be dicey, I do believe. Going to try to get the best track position as possible early going in this race. And got to admit that the cars that qualified, top knit qualifying group yet again this week. So,
yep.
Sharp knit field.
All right, here we go into 3 and 4. That pace car, of course, will dive off to the safety of pit road here momentarily. There it goes, coming into the start zone here tonight. Here we go, Mark Whitley. Green is out already. Boogity, 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 folks. We are racing here tonight at Bristol.
You can already see on the initial start, the cars that started in the high lane kind of hit those bumps in 1 and 2, trying to get up through the gears, almost possibly made contact with the wall. Got to watch out on riding that high lane. Gonna be probably tight off on the exit if you're riding the high lane. Better able to be straighter off the corner. If you're on the bottom, you're still turning a tad bit, so also trying to possibly not be in the throttle as much on the bottom, so working that throttle more possibly.
Yeah, very good, Paul. We got
already.
we've got a yellow here.
Uh-oh.
And they are still wrecking as well, folks. It took me to Philip Bridgman in the 5. We're going to find out what happened to Philip here, folks. First caution of the evening, and it looks like he might have just lost it coming out of the corner. Got too high there up against the wall out of turn number, looks like turn 4. Yeah, he just lost it, it looks like. Got loose coming across
kind
the
of in
line.
the middle, kind of in the middle of the track, and like we had just started this race, so possibly not enough rubber laid down yet in the early 5 laps. If Robbie or whichever admin of the evening was able to set up the session, and if they do or do not use like the track progression or where you can start with a clean track. So either or, tire heat not built up as well. So also just the handling of these cars, they're just really twitchy at times.
I'm trying to see exactly. Somebody else went around. I'm trying to find out. I think that might have been it, just the 5.
Maybe Campbell and Adams kind of just checked up.
Yeah.
Really a lot. Could have slid towards him, but looked like they were kind of getting back going towards the end of that replay, if you know what I mean. Like just kind of stopping to not be involved in it, I guess.
And we are under caution here for the first time here for the Harpoon Design Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series. Of course, that was kind of, expected, I guess you could say, Will. I did say that, the restarts, they're going to be a little bit tricky. And you was alluding to the buildup of the tires and the heat, rubber on the track, get heat built up in those tires. Here at Bristol, it's going to take some time to get that rubber laid down, even though, it transfers from practice into the race. There's not a whole lot of rubber still on that track. So they're going to have to be, extremely careful. And it's just short track racing. I mean,
exactly.
It's part of it. We do have some people in chat here tonight. It looks like we got 16 out there tuning in. We got Steve Tucker, my brother Jeremy Medlock, Brantley Roden out there, the sponsor out here tonight. Big shout out to Brantley. Robbie Darnell out there, Brendan Kennedy, and then, of course, everybody else that is not talking at the present time. I am sure Tara is out there somewhere, but the pace car is going to dive off here once more, and Mark Whitley's on the loud pedal. Green is back out for the second time here tonight at Bristol. It is going to probably be a little difficult here, folks, to get interviews in here at this track under caution, seeing as, how short it is.
Two cars getting sideways out of turn 4, similar to what happened with the 5 at Bridgman. They're going to be off track. That's going to be Austin Slayers and couldn't make out the
Robbie Darnell.
Okay. Yes. Oh my. So.
No yellow on that one, by the way. There was no yellow, so it looks like Austin is going to be coming down pit road here. Now we might be able to get a MaxspeedTV rewind of this real quick and find out what happened and see it real quickly. I see Austin way down on the apron here. Looks like Robbie too. Yeah, it doesn't look like anybody spun it. So. Looks
just
like
synchronized sliding.
Yep, synchronized sliding here. Oh yeah, Robbie and Austin both smacking that pit wall there. So,
Robbie was able to catch his more. It was more of a light brush, and Austin's was more of a rough kiss.
Yeah. They're giving the wall some lovin's out here tonight, folks.
Yes.
Walls need lovin's too. Gary Slapinski started in 14th. He is all the way up to 7th already. Chris Paff started in 8th and 5th after the little hiccups they've had out there on the track here already tonight. Zach Deuscher, 6th. He's up into the top 5 into 4th. Kyle Heath, he is up into 3rd after starting 4th. So we do have some movement going on. Michael Dewalt and Mark Whitley still staying where they're at 1st and 2nd respectively. Michael is showing 1.2 seconds behind him, but you know, at a track like Bristol, that is not a lot of time. If Mark has a hiccup out there, Michael's going to pounce on him. So Mark's got to be careful too. Even though he is a very fast driver, Will, he, you know, even the best ones make mistakes.
Oh, yes, most certainly indeed. And sometimes you make the mistakes while you're actually leading the races that you're trying to win. So, you know, you got to limit those mistakes the best that you can any race that you run. But still, nevertheless, Bristol, you never know what can get thrown at you.
Austin Slayer. Yeah, we seen that. We're going to get another uh-oh down there here out on the track here tonight. Boy, I love that little uh-oh thing. That's pretty neat. Looks like Paul Buzz Cohen, Austin Slayers. It does look like also Robbie Darnell involved in this too. I know Austin was coming. He just come off of pit road here, and I believe it was those fresher tires that kind of initiated all this. We're going to rewind it a little bit here and really find out. Looks like coming out of turn number 4 again.
He got a bit twitchy, so he had to slow up. Robbie, I guess, wasn't anticipating him to slow up as much, you know, to catch the car because he had a big bobble. And Robbie just kind of know where to go. Robbie was already committed to that bottom lane that Austin was already trying to get back up to speed in, I guess you could say, after slowing up. And that's exactly what I was talking about earlier at the top of the show, about a car being sideways, and you're coming into these corners and you can't tell that because there is an A-frame post, I believe it is, a piece of the roll bar inside the car and inside the cockpit there, and it's just kind of in the way. And also, just like I said, just the transition into the banking. So very unfortunate for Paul being caught up in that as well, is what I'm trying to get out.
Oh yeah, definitely so. And you know, we're going to definitely keep an eye out on it. And I just noticed that the slideshow is still saying Kansas. We are not at Kansas, folks. We are at Bristol. So I'm going to have to change that here. There we go. Let's change it. Then we'll have to move it up.
No, Toto, this is Bristol.
All right, there we go. Got it fixed. Mark Whitley still lead. Of course, myself, Joshua Medlock. You are here to Will Roberts doing some talking out here tonight. Now, it looks like Phillip Bridgman and Austin Slayers have already taken their cars behind the wall out here tonight, Will. Now, we are down to 19 drivers. We started 22 in the lobby. One of them didn't start. 2 of them are now already out. No factory pairs this season for SRU. So, you know, Austin, it looks like Buzz even called in a night. So we are down to 18 drivers. That would be Paul Cohen. Oh, man, Bristol cleaning itself up out here tonight early on.
Yes, indeed. It can be a self-cleaning racetrack just like its cousin Dover, so...
19 tuning in, 6 likes. No reason we can't hit 15, 20 likes out here tonight, folks. Pace car is off and away. Mark Whitley, Michael Dewalt. Here we go. Green is out. Michael kick loose.
Tires.
Oh,
He's running tires.
Yeah, 3 wide there and spinning those tires. You were right on the dot on that. That stacked them up.
Yes, that whole outside lane, accordion effect, it's amazing nobody stumbled over one another. They actually got going, surprisingly. I thought for sure we were just going to see just kind of a pile up there at the start-finish stripe.
I don't know how in
Excuse
the
me.
world they managed to do that. I would have probably ran into the back of somebody.
Yes, this race, Josh, was already showing signs of early attrition going on. Three racers, three competitors, like you alluded to, already out of this race. That can be Bristol, though, sometimes. It's short track racing at times as well. So, like we said, you never know what's going to be thrown your way next. Chris Praff making moves in that 22 Gatorade car. Him and David Cassidy having a fierce battle.
Yeah, now the two, Brandon Sheets is going to get into the mix on this, followed by Jeff Gilmore, Brandon Hartwell not too far back, Robbie Stewart, Gomez. I mean, we got a stack of them right here. Emma Coffee Machine there, Folgers of Jim Coleman'sberger. I wouldn't be too mad at him here tonight if he messed it up. Battle for second here. Oh, DeWalt way down there on the apron. Kyle Heath is going to get around him.
Yes, he's still trying to get that car under control.
Man. Steve Tucker, Tara, there she is. She's here. I figured she would be. Jim, just speaking of Jim, battling back here with the 33 of Mark Koshik. I call him Gomez. That's what I've always called him. A good battle
Yeah, you
going
got your...
Go ahead.
You got some... No, I was going to say the JBL stuff. You got some stuff for your tunes. Got your Marlboro cigarettes, your Folgers coffee.
Oh!
And if you want some paint, there's some DuPont coming into the picture. So.
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
What
Gomez.
a job.
Man.
Gomez had to really check up there. He is a really good awareness driver, I'd have to say. He is always pretty good about being aware. Chris Campbell catching it, had a bit of a twitch at a turn 4. These cars really just a handful, and these drivers are displaying great driving skills, trying to keep it straight here.
I'm going back to Gomez here. When I first joined iRacing, the first league I joined was with the league that Gomez was a part of, Mark Koshik. So I've known him for about 7 years, and I've raced with him. I know I don't know his whole racing style, but I know how he races, and I know he's a very safe driver. But, right now, 11th, he started 11th, he's in 12th, he's trying to get back up there to where he started. We got drivers trying to make moves. Look at Jason Adams here, though. You was talking about him earlier, the DuPont 24, from 21st to 13th. I understand we do have 3 drivers out of the race, but hey, that's points. He's moving up. He's trying to get as many as he possibly can.
Exactly. Each spot is points, and, like we've talked about, just getting as many spots as possible is also just improving on a great finish that you could possibly have.
Golly, we're going to come down to the stage here, Will, in about 5 laps already. Golly.
When it's 14, 15-second lap times, really just these laps can just tick by as long as these drivers can keep it straight.
Yep. Lap 42 already, coming to lap 43. This coming up time by. We got a minute to kind of get around the track here. Looks like Chris Paff. Now Kyle Heath, Brandon Sheets, they're going to be doing some battling here. Chris right up ahead of the bunch. We are kind of just really waiting here on the lap 45 mark. Now, Mark Whitley already coming around the 3 of Robbie Stewart to put him a lap down, lap 44. Next time by will be the white flag here tonight. And across the stripe, white flag in the air. We got 1 more lap to go for the stage already. We get a yellow now. That will be the stage. I really don't foresee a yellow coming out right now, because Mark Whitley will be getting the yellow for the stage here at the stripe. There it is. He is going to win stage number 1 here tonight. Kind of waiting now just for everybody to Yeah, there we go. There is the yellow for the stage. All right, well, Mark Whitley here, Will, showing that he really, really likes Bristol. He even said it earlier.
Yeah, he's really using that bottom line to his perfection. It looks like he's kind of backing up the corners, which that's what you really need to do on the bottom lane. Here at Bristol, really either lane is good with backing up the corner, but bottom lane especially, to where you can still have that throttle into the corner, through the corner, if you need so, and also that drive off. So.
And Steve's got a point out there here in chat tonight. The boys better run the low line to hold on to those tires on the long runs. He's got a point. So, you know, if they're running that high line throughout the whole race, they're going to burn up those tires a lot quicker than those that are running that low side. So, you know, he is going to have to, he does have a point, and it looks like Mark Whitley will be coming out here in that 6th spot. We're going to go ahead and get him down here one more time real quick. Mark, you got the stage out here tonight. Now it's a long shoot to the finish, buddy. So what are you thinking?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, there you are.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, well, you won the stage, man. We still got a long way to go and a short time to get there. What are you thinking now, bud?
Just take it easy. Just kind of save the tires, just run smooth laps and stay out of trouble. That's the game plan from the start.
Yep. Well, it looks like Michael DeWalt, you know, he's been up there with you, you know, kind of, I don't know, maybe playing it safe. He knows you're fast. He's fast. Do you, what do you got to do to hold him back? Because he's, you know, he's rocking and rolling too.
Yeah, just try to be smooth and just keep the tires up under it. Looks like he's driving it a little harder than I am, so maybe if we get a long run, we can maybe have some better long run pace. We'll just have to stay smooth and just try to, you know, keep it pointed in the right direction.
All righty, tires definitely going to be important, and staying clean for sure. You, you know, that's pretty much what it boils down to here at Bristol. So, you know, Mark, good luck out there, buddy. Keep it going. We'll see what happens, man. We got 200 to go? Yeah, 200 to go. Yep. So, good luck, Mark.
All right, thank you.
Yep. Man, 200 laps to go, and you be like thinking, man, 200 to go, this is going to be a long race. No, it ain't.
Well, just depending on how many more cautions we may have.
Well, hope we don't have too many. I got to get that stage off.
Exactly.
You know, if they get that long run, Will, you know, 75% fuel. You know, I alluded to it earlier. We talked about it a little bit. You know, 115 to 125 laps on fuel. Tires probably not going to go that far, but, you know, let's say you split it 75, you know, 75, that last stop, man, you could go the distance. Man, it's tires. It's going to be tires.
Yeah, I do. I for sure would have to agree with you there. Tires going to probably play a big key factor in who could possibly win this race this evening.
And the pace car is off and away. Jeff Gilmore on the loud pedal in control. There he goes. Green is out once more. The 24 of Jason Adams, John Held, Larry Blair, Mark Whitley, Michael DeWalt, Gary Slapinski, Zach Neuscher, Jim Coleman, Spurger, Kyle Heath, rounding out the top 10 here on the restart. But everything's going to change due to the fact of kind of just how quickly they're moving. Boy, Michael DeWalt, man, and Mark was right. Michael DeWalt, he is hammering down, man. He is flying. Oh, man, tagging the 73 wide at Bristol.
Wide.
Whoa, folks.
They made it work. Gary said, I will get out of that, and Michael's still making his moves, slicing and dicing this field.
Yeah, Mark Whitley as well. He's driving
Mark
up
got
through. Man,
yep.
We had battles going all the way through the field, and I was trying to catch them all at the same time.
Michael's really good at diamonding these corners.
Yeah. Golly, man. There comes Gary. Started 14th, up here to 3rd. We seen it last week. Mark, Michael, and Gary. We'll see kind of that's where they're standing right now. But we got a long way to go. I'm not saying, that's the way it's going to finish.
Right.
It's going to be all about strategy, man. These guys are getting it wound down. I mean, if we go green here, folks, they will finish this race in roughly 49 minutes. So rounded out to about 50 minutes. That's just the race. And if it stays green. So this 3 wide, though, I'm shocked. And I thought Jim was going to take it up the middle there for a second. LOL at Resharts. What's that? Oh, Steve. I see what it is now.
Restarts.
Yeah,
I think he was trying to say.
Yeah, he was trying to say restarts, and he spelled out resharts. Wow. A lot of side-by-side back here. Robbie Darnell, Larry Blair, Brandon Hartwell. This is back here toward just outside of the top 10. Roughly 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th with Jim Coleman-Sperger. So they are battling it out back here. Another battle up here, David Cassidy and Jason Adams. Jason was up front. He has led 3 laps. Bonus points, Will. Those bonus points, man, it could be 1 point to win, 1 point to lose, and they all matter.
Yes, indeed. Like we alluded to earlier, points, however you can get them, whether it's positions, passing cars, finishing the best result possible, like a top 5, top 10 finish, gets good points as well. Leading laps, some leagues do most laps led, so if you could lead the most laps,
Yeah, this league does most laps led, leading a lap, clean race, no incident points at all. You can't have any incident points. There's a few others that they do as well that you can get bonus point stages, of course. So you can maximize your points. And Mark Whitley, man, he has not led all the laps, but he's he's led 58 of the 66 we have ran. So Gary up to 2nd now. Michael back to 4th. Zach up to 3rd. So they are moving.
Yes, the Harpoon Racing Design Team 1-2 now, so. I think Gary would be the biggest mover, I think, perhaps. If not Jason, maybe. Because Jason started 21st, so.
Kind of just watching it here. John held. It looks like Robbie is going to get around John. John started 12th. Right back here in 11th, so he is still up a spot here. Right now, they are getting, I wouldn't say spread out. Spread out here at Bristol is, 27 seconds or more ahead of somebody else. When you're, half a second to 2 seconds back, kind of like what Chris Paff is. It's about 2 seconds back behind Brandon Sheets. That wouldn't be 1 out 3. That's not really still yet a whole lot of time. Brandon has a mistake and there's no yellow. Chris Paff pounce right back up on him, get closer, or maybe even make the pass. The tires, though, they've been out here now at about 24 laps. They are starting to wear down even more, Will. So tires are going to play a big factor. I mean, even though they're really, I would say, not, man, Mark Whitley lapping them 1 by 1. He is right here in the mix, dealing with some lap cars, as well as Gary.
Yes, Gary and Zach.
Yeah.
So 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right here, working through, just at the moment traffic, lapping cars. So only 0.5, half a second separate the top 3. Michael DeWalt trying to tag along.
Yep, he's trying to get back up there. He's about half a second back behind Zach here, so really close. As Mark makes his way up to the 68 now of Christopher Campbell, putting him a lap down. I had a feeling lap cars would be, you know, playing kind of a factor. Now, whoa, 24, Jason scraping the wall, giving it a little bit of a loving here tonight.
Yeah, it looked like he got a bit too much of it on corner exit, that's for sure, riding that high lane. And sometimes you just go over these bumps a bit too wrong, perhaps, or maybe the car just doesn't want to turn.
Yeah.
And it just, hello, wall. So.
Hello, wall. Now, we haven't really talked about, you know, how, you know, getting into the wall and, you know, getting a little bit of damage can help you turn, you know, and it can, depending on where that damage is at on that car, Will. Oh, we got a yellow.
Uh-oh.
And another uh-oh is out here tonight. It looks like we've got Robbie Darnell. Wow, right there with Jason Adams in the 24. Whoa.
I believe they're teammates, right?
I believe they are.
So teammate on teammate crime here.
And Robbie Darnell is actually the Cup Series admin too. So we're gonna pick on Robbie here tonight, folks. Yeah, is right, man, right there.
They just had a coming together. Robbie probably thought that he was going to be clear of Jason at least halfway down the straightaway. That's why he could have been a little bit of netcode as well.
Could have been.
So.
Coulda, woulda,
just
shoulda.
Hard racing.
Yep. Coulda, woulda,
we saw
shoulda.
Jason bounce out the wall a couple of times, so he could have been struggling as well. And Robbie just possibly just trying to get around, and unfortunately had it coming together.
Well, I don't know if Robbie Darnell would talk about it. I know I usually don't bring up drivers that have been involved in accidents. You know, I would love to kind of get a word in with Robbie here. And let's
grab him.
Yeah, let's go and bring him down here and kind of talk to him. Robbie, I don't usually interview anybody that's involved in accidents, but we got to kind of talk about there, you know, kind of what happened there, man. What'd you see coming up to the 24, and what happened there, buddy?
Good old crew chief told me I was clear, and I was not. So, that's my fault. Totally my fault on that. Yeah, I was having a good run there, catching some of my teammates there, or racing with them, and just one of those things that happens. I might get a shot to get back around there.
Oh, we've still got a long way to go, buddy. I mean, like I said, I usually don't bring up drivers involved in wrecks, but, you know, short track racing, now it looks like you might have some damage. You do got some damage on that machine. Do you think it's going to affect that car at all?
It hasn't yet. The car's still been pretty fast. I've been happy with it. Actually handles a little better right now.
Okay.
Might be cooling that left front tire.
Could be, man. All righty. We're going to let you get back to it. Robbie, good luck down there. Keep that car going, and, man, keep trucking. Well, in this case, carring along, man.
Man, yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, bud. All right. Well, always, you know, good to get a word in at certain times, Will, with drivers involved in wrecks. Sometimes it's not a good thing because, you know, words can come out of people's mouths.
Robbie, though,
very.
Whatever, he always seems like the chillest person, you know, and I think you could accidentally drop a sledgehammer on his foot. He'd just be like, oh, hey, it happens.
Yep. Oh, that hurt.
So, yeah, you know, oh well.
Yep. Oh well.
Just the type of nice guy Robbie is, though. I'm just saying, you know, that's just his mentality. He's just that type of swell of a person.
Yeah, good guy to talk to, good guy to get to know. We are going to be coming to lap 86 here on the green. Now, we are not quite at that 100 mark. Still a lot of laps to go. They're going to wind them down, though, but, you know, they were pretty spread out there. They were racing it up. Pace cars off and away. It looks like some drivers did come down pit road. Mark Whitley Here we go. Green back out. Looks like everybody held on to it this time. No spinning of the tires from what I can see, but that doesn't mean that they didn't spin them. Mark Whitley did get a good jump, though. Gary battling here with Michael. Now Michael is going to get up to the 78 or fall behind the 78. 22 and the 21 going at it. Zach's going to pull up in front of the 2. Well, what'd you see there?
Yep, that was close.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I just...
Zach?
It was, yes.
Yeah, Zach, he almost
I
took
thought
out
they
the
could have...
nose on the 2.
I was about to say, yeah, I thought they were about to play a bumper swap.
A little bit of bumper car. You can call you could probably rename this track Bumper Car Bristol because of, you know, how close they are and, you know, kind of what they're doing.
And how many times the bumper has been used here.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, Zach overdrove the corner there. Gonna give up that bottom side 2 sheets in the 2. Hartwell trying to follow the 2. Gilmore, everybody's kind of just, I don't want to say log jam, but that's just kind of what they are at the moment.
Yeah.
Bottlenecked currently right here. Zach has had a bad heat cycle with these tires currently, I think. He was running fairly well up in the top 3. He was one of the top 4 that broke away, was lapping those cars earlier before the caution. So now just I just kind of think the handling has went away on this set of tire that he's on currently. That is the only reason I could think of, or maybe he kind of got out of that mood. Yes, big catch for Gilmore.
Yeah, good save there by Gilmore. We got Robbie Darnell going to be coming back out. Oh no, he went down the wrong side. Remember, dual pit road, folks. Oh, Jeff Gilmore having a moment. Maybe he was thinking about coming down pit road. Dual pit road, folks. You do not have to enter the on the front stretch. You can go down on your side. Oh, big wiggle by the 25 there as well with the 21. Oh, Jim making some moves again. And he is a lap down. First driver a lap down, though. So he gets a yellow. He'll be back on the lead lap.
But he's not wanting to be the yellow at the same time.
No, he's not wanting to be the yellow.
I think he's in a battle currently with John Held and Jason Adams back there.
Let's see here. Yep, Jason, Mark Koshik here. Kind of that's 13th, 14th, and 15th. Robbie Stewart, Larry Blair. Those drivers are the only ones that are one lap down. Christopher Campbell is the last driver on the lead lap at the present time, and Mark Whitley is going to take lap 99. That is going to be 91 laps he has led, showing his stuff out here at Bristol. Gary up into second, Paff third, DeWalt fourth, Sheets fifth. Looks like John Held and Brandon Hartwell at it right here for sixth place. Held is going to hold it. Held it.
I think Gary, if he can hold himself in position, in tow with Mark, if he can keep being consistently there on the back, on the trunk of Mark Whitley's 77 car. Mm-hmm. So if they can just, you know, if they can stay in tow with one another,
well,
I think Gary's going to.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think Gary is going to try to win this race because he, you know, he is in that position, you know, of, you know, dropping that next 4 drivers there. So I think Gary might see this race as like a must-win situation, perhaps. You know, he doesn't want to try to worry about necessarily being on that theoretical bubble.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Brandon Sheets right there. There's Jim Comensberger. That's not for position. I was watching John Held here for a little bit, and look where John's at right now, up into 4th, man. He's
Yeah, fourth
Driving up.
position.
Yeah, one spot at a time. That's what you got to do here at Bristol. Just take it one position at a time. Now he is back about a second behind Chris Path here in the Gatorade 22 machine, who started 8th. So, I mean, I don't know who's going to win it here tonight. I mean, it's going to be so close. Michael DeWalt trying to make his way back up there. You got some lap cars here, too, kind of in the mix with these guys. Jason Adams, Mark Koshik. Looks like, who was that up there, too? Larry Blair is actually up here with the 17 of David Cassidy and the 21 of Zach Deutscher. So, you know, these guys that are a lap down, they're in the mix with some of these guys that's on the lead lap. I mean, they are trying to battle for every spot they can get. And I mean, I'm worried about Mark, but I'm not worried about Mark because he's got a teammate right there behind him in second, the 78 Harpoon design of Gary Slapinski. You know, you was talking about Gary, and I'm going to allude on that right now. Gary needs those points. You know, Gary right now is, 74 points behind Mark Whitley. He's only 7 behind Philip Bridgman, who is not here tonight. So, or is Philip here? Oh, Philip was here. He crashed out early. So, that's actually going to help Gary Slapinski to get around Philip here for the top 16 in the standings. Tough break for Philip. I hate it when drivers, that's in the chase get into a wreck. That, and especially with no fast repair, that hurts.
It most certainly does. Like it. And you know that going into the season or going into these races, you don't have a fast repair, so you try your best to not overdrive a corner, but sometimes the back end's just going to step out, or you get collected in somebody else's mistake.
Battle for second, Charles. Not to interrupt you, but a battle for second here. John Held coming around. Gary Slapinski. John Held, man, golly, dude.
Yeah, he has ran down Gary.
Yeah.
And not to forget, Mark is just a couple of seconds away from Gary, so he could possibly run down Mark as well.
Mark is in lap traffic, 68-17. He just got around the 73. He's got to deal with the 21 as well. So this is going to slow Mark down just a little bit. He cannot get around the 68 right now. He's trying. John Held now 7/6 of a second. But John's now got to deal with this.
Looks like John might be able to slice through it a little bit better.
I think everybody
just. He just gets a bit tight though on corner entry there.
Got around the 17. Now he's got to deal with the 21. We only have 9 drivers right now on the lead lap. Zach Deutscher, the first driver lap down. He actually just went a lap down. So looks like Zach is going to have to contend with David Cassidy, Jim Colbensperger, Christopher Campbell, Gomez,
just a whole
Jason
big
Adams.
gaggle.
Yeah, I mean,
Gary is fighting through it now. There it is, him in the black and blue car. Oh, tight.
Man.
Almost 3 wide, but also close to tragic.
And John Held 3/10, 4/10. We'll just call it.
He's there now.
Right there behind the 77. I'm going to go ahead and look at it here. Now, John is on the fresher tires than Mark is. John's only been out here 38 laps. Mark Whitley has been out here 73 laps, folks. So, John...
He's closing in on his pit window.
Yeah, John is right there. I mean, all John's got to do is get around Mark, and I don't think Mark will fight him. Once he really starts to try to make a move, I think Mark will back off and let John go. Because, in turn, once Mark pits... after about, 40 or 50 laps or so, then John's going to have to pit.
Exactly.
So, I mean, who's it going to work out for the most? John, Mark, Gary, Chris, Michael, Brandon, who knows?
Coming up on Robbie Stewart here, navigating past the 3 car.
And that'll put the 3 of Robbie another lap down. Boy, that Marlboro machine, looking like a crumpled cigarette pack up front. I think he stuck that car in his pocket just a little bit too long there, folks.
Indeed.
Man, tough break for Stewart. Man, I'm going to go ahead and get a look at that damage on that car. Golly, look at that. Heavy, heavy damage as Jim comes around him onto the inside here. And if Robbie Stewart don't be careful, he's going to start losing some pieces out there on that car.
The right front fender weld is flapping. So, but he's having a good, he's doing a good job keeping it up out of the way.
Yeah, he's letting
even though,
everybody
as I
by.
say that, he kissed the wall, so that tends to happen.
Yep. And Mark Willie, John still right there dealing with the 70, no, dealing with the 20. Whoa, dealing with the 24 of Adams. Now, Adams is 2 laps down. Christopher Campbell has called it a night. He is done for the evening. Now, that is going to put us down 4 drivers. Yes, Bub, 250 laps at Bristol. That is not a lot of laps, to be honest. In real life, NASCAR, they do 500 laps at Bristol. So, they do half of the actual race, but it's quick. I mean, we're already at 130 laps, and it's only coming up on 8 o'clock Central, so 9 o'clock Eastern, basically 7:48 right now Central time. So, very, very quick race. If they keep going in about 30 minutes, they'll be done.
Yes, also, this is, if I'm not mistaken, also the length of sometimes a truck race, I believe, or I think some Xfinity races have also been 250 laps. Normally the Xfinity races, I think, are 300, but yeah, I think the trucks are 250. I'm trying to remember real quick, but
yeah, trucks maybe 250. Xfinity is a little more. Then, of course, the Cup, the main series, is of course the 500. So
yes. But yes, cut this in half, and you have half the distance of a cup race. You are correct about that as well, Joshua. But Gary, I guess he's still riding. He's not really able to cut through the traffic. He's just being more patient at the moment. Probably still maybe expecting, who knows, maybe another caution or two, perhaps. Still not quite 100 laps to go. Closing in on that, but actually, Michael DeWalt is there on the back of Gary now. We've seen a mixture of comers and goers this race.
Yes.
Early goings to about the halfway point. Are they going to be able to stay up here running, held? Jeff Gilmore in the 75 machine there in that Miller High Life car. So
yeah, we are over the halfway mark. It does look like, let's see here, Terrapap, Jeremy Medlock, Eric, they are all chatting it up in chat here tonight. Steve Tucker out there, kind of been quiet right now, but I'm sure he is still out there. Brendan Kennedy. Of course, Robbie Darnell on the track. Brantley hadn't said too much. But again, a big shout out to Brantley Roden, Harpoon Design out there for coming on board, sponsoring again this season, the Sim Racing League's Cup Series. So, Brantley, a big shout out to you there, buddy. They do appreciate it. I appreciate it. And, of course, if anybody's interested in, of course, grabbing a paint from Brantley Roden, he's got, about 2,000 or so paints on iRacing. If you want to grab one of those, you can. If you want a custom one done, of course, he'll hook you up and get you a paint as well. I don't know what he charges. That's between you and him. So I'll stay out of that mess. Good race at 142, man. And Mark, there's Zach. John Held still in second. Man, golly, man. Yep. What's going on? We got I don't know where anybody's at. They're all kind of entangled here tonight. Will?
Zach just came out the pits. He's a handful of laps down, but hopefully this fresh set of tire will help the balance of that car come back to life.
Yeah. It looks
Don't
like,
know.
It looks like Brandon
don't
pitted
know.
too. So
It is kind of a, I guess if you want to say, kind of a scheduled pit stop.
could be, or they're thinking.
Pit window should be open.
Or they're thinking some type of maths here.
Yes, to cut this final
Yeah.
part of the race in half.
Mark Whitley has been out here 97 laps, going back to that fuel window at about 115 to 125. And, you know, golly, Mark Whitley, he's got to be getting low on fuel. But with the cautions, I mean, he's able to save some and, you know, kind of go a little bit further. We'll see exactly how far he goes. I'm sure his tires are screaming at him. He's running laps of about 16 seconds, so.
Yes, that is about a second and a half off the pace.
Yeah.
Close to 2 seconds off of his fastest lap. So,
Oh, man.
but new third place man, Kyle Heath.
Yeah,
at the
Kyle
moment,
back up here.
Michael DeWalt got back into fourth position, got back around, Sheets, here comes Sheets.
Yep. Well, Sheets is unfortunately 2 laps down, so that's
okay,
not,
that is my apologies.
Yeah, that is not for position.
False alarm.
Yeah,
I got
Kyle,
so excited. My bad.
I think Kyle knew that, and I think he just let him around
Yes.
because, you know, Sheets has been out here, though, 17 laps, so he's got fresh tires. He's going to be he's going to be zooming around these guys. Man.
That's why I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't know he just pitted. Thank you for clarification.
Yeah, not a problem. Looks like Robbie Darnell, 14, coming up on almost close to 14 and a half minutes on pit road. John Held is down pit road here tonight, folks. So he has had enough of those tires and going to go ahead and cap it off on the fuel with about less than 100 laps to go. That is going to put him in the window on fuel to make it. Tires? Kyle Heath down pit road. Now, I wonder, and he is going to slide in. Oh, he had to back up a little bit. Ouch.
Oh, costly time.
Yeah, had to back up just a smudge, but that is going to hurt.
Even that second, yes.
Back up to Mark Whitley. I think Mark Whitley is trying to lap everybody. I think that's his goal.
Yeah, that'd be a smart idea. Try to lap everybody, and then that way, if somebody spins out while you're making your pit stop, hey, you're kind of golden.
Yeah, but you don't want to be.
How much longer?
You don't want to be caught coming down pit road when a caution
comes out. And 148 laps.
Yeah, 148 laps led. Yeah, golly, that's insane. Michael DeWalt back up to second as we're seeing some pitting going on. But Jason Adams now looks like is going to be coming down a pit road into his box here. Looks like he might have had to go through the whole pit lane here. Not entirely sure, but we've only got now 5 drivers on the lead lap. Mark Whitley up top, Michael DeWalt second, Gary Slapinski third. I almost said turd. Wow. Brandon Hartwell fourth and Chris Paff fifth. Oh my gosh. Crack myself up sometimes. $160 of 250. Golly. And here comes our leader, Mark Whitley, down pit road. Michael DeWalt looks like he is going to stay out. Can he grab a bonus point for leading a lap here? Of course, Michael not in the chase this season. However, if he comes back next season, gonna have to watch that Budweiser number 8 machine. But this time by, he is gonna grab that lap here tonight. So Mark down pit road, Chris, Gary down pit road, Hartwell down pit road, Gomez now coming down pit road, Larry Blair in the Monster 73 coming down pit road here.
So Brandon Sheets is ahead of John Held of the early pit road takers. How much is the early pit road? So Brandon Sheets has got and passed Gary there in the 78. So maybe the undercut might be quite strong, perhaps.
Well, Gary's
if
laps.
he can. Oh,
Let's see, Gary's 2 laps down now. But Brandon is right there. But Brandon's not our leader, so.
right. But just looking at who would cycle out.
Okay.
As
yeah.
Once, who is it that's left? Gilmore, I believe, and
no, Gilmore.
no, not Gilmore.
Michael DeWalt. He's the. Wait,
Yes. Oh,
hang on a minute.
DeWalt.
Okay. DeWalt needs to pit, and Gilmore needs to pit. But we've only got one driver on the lead lap. That's DeWalt. That's it. Everybody else is a lap down. And here comes DeWalt. Now it's going to start cycling through, Will. I had to even look on the timing screen here to see.
John Held is currently in front of Mark Whitley.
Yep.
I just saw through one of the cameras.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Battle for the lead. Whitley and John. John Held, man, he is trying to, man, everybody
Mark
give
Whitley
a
now
hand
with
for
those fresh tires.
John Held here.
Oh, yes.
Golly, man.
He has been driving an excellent race. I have to
Yes.
agree with you. Yes.
Brandon Hartwell. No, that's Brandon. Yeah, that's Brandon Hartwell right there. Now, Brandon Sheets is third. Trying to wait until everything cycles through here. That way we can go through it. So here's what we got after pit stops. Whitley up front, Held in second, Sheets third, Kyle Heath fourth, Slapinski fifth, DeWalt sixth, Hartwell seventh, Chris Paff eighth. Jeff Gilmore is on pit road in ninth, Zach Deuscher 10th, Gomez at 11th, Blair in 12th, Adams 13th, Robbie Stewart 14th. Robbie Darnell is actually on pit road, and only 6 drivers as of right now on the lead lap. But Michael DeWalt, if he does not stay up front here in front of the 77, he will go a lap down.
Yes, he is the final car on the lead lap, like you were alluding to. So, fresh tires. He waited the longest to pit, hoping for those tires to prevail way later on in this run. As long as he can drive away from Mark Whitley, though, like you said.
It's got to. Well, Mark is actually our leader, and I think
Yes.
I think if we get a caution, hopefully we don't, but if we do, that is actually going to benefit the drivers that are at least one lap down, but it'll really benefit Michael DeWalt because he's right in front of the 77.
Yeah, he wouldn't have the leader breathing down his neck anymore.
Nope, and there's the 78 right there of Gary Slapinski. That is for 5th between these 2 drivers. Let's see if Michael diving it down to the low side. And he's going to get around him. Gary, marking it now. They're coming up on the 73 of Larry Blair here, too. Oh, golly, this is going to get interesting again.
I'm sure Mark Whitley doesn't necessarily want to lap his teammate. You know,
well, in a
he
situation,
wants to try to keep Gary on the lead lap.
yeah, but what do you do in a situation like this? If you know you're faster, you know, I mean, I guess you would have no choice. You know, if I was Mark and I was faster than my teammate and I'm coming up on him, I'm going to do everything I can to get around him.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, I'm
Different
sorry,
folks
but
with different strokes.
yeah, you
Yes,
know,
indeed.
it's you know, it's racing. I mean, yeah, you got teammates, but you're also an individual driver, you know, so you got to
Oh yeah.
look at the bigger picture when it comes down to the end, you know. Mark ain't pressing the issue, but man, they are all kind of spread out. Going back to Gary, there's D-Walt, Kyle. Got two drivers.
Jeremy just said he wouldn't think twice about lapping you if he was your teammate.
Whoa, no! Whoa! Gary Slapinski! We have got a yellow here and another uh-oh here tonight, folks. That is a big uh-oh because guess who was involved in that? The 78 of Gary Slapinski. Oh, it looks like the 24. Oh, did they go 3 wide here? It looks like the 24 arced it down there onto the inside. We're rewinding it here. Yep, kind of got down there. Oh, he clipped the apron, got him loose, and right up into the 78 of Gary Slapinski. That is, oh, and the 3 of Robbie Stewart, nowhere to go.
Poor Robbie, he's been struggling with that damaged car all night, keeping it out of the way, and I wonder how much damage Whitley would have to the front fascia, the front end of that car. You know, maybe a toe might be knocked out, possibly, just of how much of an impact he did kind of suffer there.
Yeah.
Whenever Adams came overcorrected back up, got, like you said, clipped the apron, upset the car. Just nothing you can do at that point when these cars get just lost on you, upset, uncontrollable. And you try to steer out of it like the best of your knowledge, the best you can of your capabilities. And sometimes just things to that nature happen. It's unfortunate.
And pit road, here we go, folks. Brandon Sheets. Kyle Heath down pit road. Gary Slapinski, of course, down pit road here. Zach Deuscher is down. Jeff Gilmore is down. Jason Adams is on pit road in his pit box here. We do have some drivers coming down pit road late in the race here tonight. The Harpoon Design Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series, and I totally I did spell that right, didn't I? D-E-S-I-G-N. I think I spelled that right.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Harpoon Design Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series here at the last Great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. For the round of 3, season 14 of the top 16. We got a lot of races to go just to kind of get everybody on a heads up of those races still yet here in the chase. I mean, anything can happen, so we'll talk about it here real quickly. Bristol tonight. We go to Texas next week, and I know everybody was out there watching the real Texas race today, and I heard it was what do they call that when cars bang and bump and, you know, they're in a arena, they hit it, demolition derby there. I hope,
Wreck Fest.
yeah, I hope we don't have that next week here, October the 1st at Bristol, but we'll find out. Talladega For the next race after Texas, October the 8th, October the 15th, we go to Charlotte Motor Speedway, the 2018 version, October 22nd, Las Vegas, the 29th of October. To round out October is Phoenix with the open dog leg. So we do have a couple of, kind of make it or break it tracks. Super Speedway Talladega, of course, Phoenix, one of those that can make it or break it. Martinsville to start November, that is going to be, a tough track as we are getting it gone green already here. It doesn't take long, as you can tell, folks.
Kyle Heath with a pretty decent start from that position. He was able to really arc and pivot the corner how he needed to. Michael Dewalk attacking Mark Whitley now, trying to go for the race lead. Both, I would say, pretty damaged race cars. I would have to assume Whitley's machine has some type of damage after being involved in the sandwiched incident he was in last caution, but he didn't pit, so he obviously feels, looks fairly clean. So
it looks all right. We're looking at his. Let's go back to DeWalt here. It looks like DeWalt's pretty clean here as well. Now there is Kyle Heath. We'll take a look at his machine here too. Looks like Kyle looking pretty strong. Brandon Sheets right there. Does have some scrapies on to the right side there, but other than that, it looks like the number 2 reaching out is a sign of strength machine. Other than that, it looks like Brandon Sheets doing okay here, the suicide prevention machine. So always good to see drivers do some sort of charity paint, and Brandon running that one again. But the top 6 still on the lead lap. John held back here in that 6th position. Brandon Hartwell there in that Michigan Detroit Lions paint. He is running in 5th after starting 15th there, Will. So, he is up 10 positions. It's Bristol.
yes, indeed. Able to navigate, the traffic and not be part of the melee that has been unfolding. So, closing in on 50 laps to go tonight, Joshua.
Yeah,
so,
man, winding it down.
But a fierce battle going on just slightly behind Whitley. For second place, Kyle Heath getting the inside move on Michael Dewalt as she just watches on.
Man.
Kyle Heath really able to wrap the bottom and then slide up to the racing line on the straights, and he really showed good passing, typical Bristol bottom feed type of pass on the straightaway there that we saw a couple of laps ago.
And that actually, Will, you was talking about the battle between Kyle and Michael there when they were side by side racing it up. That actually brought Brandon Sheets closer, and he is right there now on the tail of Michael Dewalt. So the top 4 right here together. I wouldn't necessarily, you could say, throw a blanket over the top 4. But, they're right there, if they
half a second.
Yeah, anything can have, about 0.2 of a second. Well, Brandon is about a half a second behind the leader, but they're about 0.2 between one another. So, very, very close. And we are over that 200 lap mark here. Man. 13 of you out there. Oh, did D-Walk get way? I think D-Walk got a little bit too far up there on the high side. Here comes Sheets. Man, I don't know how D-Walk's doing that. Whoa, Larry Blair. Okay, Larry's been on pit road for about a minute here. Not sure exactly what happened to Larry here tonight. Oh.
Yeah, Michael's just really able to wrap that high side, really able to diamond that entry.
How does he do that?
Well, it's just very backing up the corner, more or less, or sometimes you can really attack the high side at Bristol. You can drive it in deeper sometimes. You you're more in the throttle on the high side.
Yeah, let's go ahead and on board here with Michael DeWalt here tonight. Kind of get an idea. Everybody can see what Bristol is like. It looks like a bowl, basically. You know,
yes.
it's, I do believe they even played an NFL game real live here once, I believe it was. Might have been a college game. College or NFL?
College.
Yeah, it was college, actually. And, you know,
The Volunteers.
yeah, they filled the seat. Golly, man, they are now neck and neck here. We're on DeWalt.
Yes,
We
Kyle
can see
Heath.
Kyle. We can see Mark. Man, oh, man. And there
You can exactly what I was talking about earlier about the A-frame pillar of the roll cage kind of being a blinding spot while you're in the corners here.
Yes. Yeah, and Brandon Sheets did get around the 8 of Michael DeWalt to go up into that third spot right where he started, but that 8 I don't think is going to give up. Kyle Heath is not giving up either, right on the tail of the 77. I mean, he is right there. Lap traffic coming up here. Who is that? Let me see if I can find out who that is. That is the 78, Gary Slapinski.
Gary.
He's just going to let him go by. Yeah, he's not even going to fight him.
Yeah, he is just struggling, that damaged car. I would say
Kyle
he
Heath
got
up
the worst
front.
end of the deal. Yes, impressive move by Kyle. What a move.
And Kyle Heath will grab a bonus point for leading the lap here tonight, late into the race. Mark moving back. Brandon coming around to the outside. I wonder
Kyle
if
Heath made that move with 35 laps to go, Joshua. So
Oh.
Brandon Sheets now getting by Mark Whitley. Mark Whitley could be falling off now late in the race. Surprising
54
turn
lap,
of events.
54 lap stint run. Do you think maybe he's kind of pulling back a little bit to kind of manage his tires and make one last push here toward the end?
Maybe if that 25 to go or 20 lap to go mark, he might actually try to have something left out of that car and attack these two that have just kind of just escaped away from him. Kyle Heath and Brandon Sheets, they're going at it, having a battle of their own. Kyle Heath just being that bottom feeder at the moment.
Go ahead, sorry.
Sheets, I was just going to say, Sheets really liking that middle to top lane. He gets really good drive off, it seems.
Run
like
your
I said
line.
earlier, you can, yes, exactly.
Don't worry about don't worry about anybody else. Run your line. And if you got a shot to get around them, get around them. But I think Brandon right now is just trying to, I don't know if he's saving.
Run what got you there.
Huh?
I said, run what got you there.
Exactly, and I think that's what Kyle's doing. Mark did fall back here. He's back into third, about almost 2.5 seconds back. Owen County weather updates out there. He was talking about that move there, and he called it a Kyle Busch move.
I didn't see the comment. My apologies,
It's
Joshua.
all right. Lap 224 laps. Now Mark Whitley will come away regardless with the most laps led right now at 198 laps.
So definitely going to get that extra bonus point for the most laps led.
Yes.
So, and regardless, good points day, but the race is still not over. Anything is possible. He's only 2.5 seconds back from this raging battle going on. Kyle Heath taking the line away from Brandon Sheets now. So defensive driving at play in the final 25 laps of this race.
Yep, they just got around the 25 or the 75 of Jeff Gilmore. I almost said 25, but it's a 75. They got 25 laps to go, and the number 75 confused there. Had 25 on my mind. 11 likes out there tonight, 17 of you tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for the likes. We are now up to about 9 likes to go before we hit that 20 like mark. Man, Brandon Sheets way up there, right up. I mean, when he comes out, man, he gets right up to the wall. He's getting that arc, but, man, Kyle, I wouldn't
Kyle
say
at times it's just he sees that he sees that and he wants to take that line away. So
they're coming around Gomez down to 33. Mark Koshik, that is going to put Mark another lap down. I don't think Mark's too worried about it right now. Mark started in 11th.
Hey.
He's running in 10th there. So,
stand up top 10.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, I've known him for a long time. He just wants to get to the end. Here we go, folks. We are 20 to go here tonight. Man, 20 laps to go. They finish it out here. We'll be done in 5 minutes. For everybody that's wondering how I know that, well, I'll bring it over here. A little bit of an inside scoop. There's the time right there. If it's, if it stays green, that's how long it'll last right there.
Predictive telemetry, basically. Yeah,
it's in ATVO. It kind of is right
That's
there.
nice.
So, yeah. Now, I always thought at first,
nice
when I first used it, I always thought that it was how many minutes are left in the setup race, you know, because it's timed like 2 hours, 1 hour, whatever as well. But I come to realize that's not the case. It's how long the race will last if they stay green.
That's pretty cool. You got these tools at your disposal that you almost could be hired to be a crew chief.
Well, if you're a Kyle Heath fan right now, looking pretty good. Mark Whitley back at about 6 seconds from Brandon Sheets, about 6.5 from Kyle Heath. Brandon Sheets about a half a second back roughly from Kyle. John Held, man, that Napa 72, man, clappers to him right now, running in that 4 spot. Still not over. You know, anything can definitely happen. John still, I believe John still has a chance. You know, we get a mishap up front, no yellow. You know, John be right there, man. So I would not count him out. But, you know, laps are winding down here relatively quickly. And, I mean, they're still pushing out about roughly 15.5-second laps. So, going by fast.
Yes, most definitely, Joshua, going by fast the end of this race. Brandon Sheets got to Kyle Heath, but getting there is one thing, passing's another. We always know that, and unfortunately, just seems like Brandon just wasn't quite able to ever get a pass successfully, made. So that run that Brandon had just kind of has stalled out. Unless Kyle has some type of mistake, I think, in these closing 10 laps, it's Kyle's race to lose.
Yep.
If you would have told me this, say 30 minutes ago when we knew that the 77 of Mark Whitley was going to lead 198 laps, I believe it was.
Yeah, 198 laps.
Almost 200 laps, and not at, we still have a few laps left. Anything is possible, but man, if you would have told me this finishing order, if it's going to finish like this, 20, 30 minutes ago, I wouldn't have believed you.
I mean, we've still got 7 to go. So, Kyle's got to hold his line. He's got to get around these lap cars here safely. So, he's got to manage that. Brandon Sheets has got to hold on to that second spot right here in the 2 as the 3 is coming up on him here. Now, the 3 of Robbie Stewart back out here. He is several laps down, 34 laps. If I'm Brandon Sheets, I'm just going to let that 3 go by. I'm not even going to worry about it. Mark Whitley, he's running out of laps here quickly. I don't know, 6 laps to go here, 6.5 seconds back from Brandon Sheets.
Oh, John Helf right there. He is coming for that 3rd position.
He is. Yeah, and I was actually fixing to say that. You kind of read my mind there. John is right there. That would be the final podium spot. They're trying to get around the 33 right now. of Gomez. And Gomez is just going to let him go by. He is not going to fight him. Could have a battle here for that third spot here tonight, folks. We are now officially at that 3 to go. If by some chance here tonight we do get a yellow between now and the white flag, well, that'll set up a green-white checkered attempt. They do 3 attempts here tonight. That is the 2 to go there with Kyle Heath. Man, trying to maneuver his way. He's got to get to the white flag here tonight, folks, without any problems. Out of 4, white flag in the air, 1 to go. We're going to finish this here tonight, folks, under regulation. And Kyle Heath down into 3. 1 more half a turn out of 4. Kyle Heath gonna win it here tonight at Bristol. Brandon Sheets in second. Mark Whitley will hold on to 3rd. But John Held, man, big clap to John Held there in that fourth spot. Michael DeWalt will round it out the top 5 here, but our podium, Kyle Heath, Brandon Sheets, Mark Whitley here, folks. Man, what an awesome race out here tonight. We're going to go ahead and bring it up here. 5 cautions in total. Take away 1 for the stage, so we had 4. 4 regular cautions and 1 for the stage. So, man, what a race out here tonight at Bristol. Burn it up there, Kyle. There you go, buddy. Burning it up. That is his 2nd win of the chase here, folks. The Meme Marie Designs machine. We'll get the top 3 up here for the MaxspeedTV post-race show. So hang tight, folks. We will be right back. All righty, folks. I am back with Will Roberts. I'm going to go ahead and do the interviews here real quickly. But, Will, man, that was an amazing race out here tonight. Let's go ahead and get down here. We're going to start here with that number 13 machine, the Meme Marie Designs paint. That is his 2nd win of the chase. Kyle Heath, buddy. Awesome job out here, but man, I don't think it was without a fight, man. I know you were the one down there driving, so we got to hear the battles, the struggles, the lap cars. Mark, Brandon, John, even at times, man, it was a battle down there, buddy. Talk about it.
Hello, what happened? I hear a bunch of static.
Yeah, that is Will Roberts. Will, we got some static there, buddy. Go ahead, Cal.
Oh man, it was great. The ending was great, but the beginning, I wasn't doing good at the beginning. I'll tell you that. I qualified fairly decent, and then I thought I was doing pretty good, and then my car just started falling off the rails. But before I know it, we had a long green flag run, and I was back in 9th, and I think I came all the way up to the 3rd. Before we had after that long green flag run, we had a caution. I came all the way up to 3rd, and then that final caution after that long green run, or that was a kind of a short run. I didn't know if I should pit because I pitted kind of early. Then some of the others, like Mark Whitley, I know he pitted a little bit later. I was thinking to myself, like, should I pit? Should I pit? Or should I not pit? And at the last second, I decided to pit. And it worked out because I feel like I stole that one.
Man, well, I mean that was an amazing win. Your second win of the chase, as well, man. So awesome points not coming to you, but it's Bristol short track racing. You said you had some struggles down there, and I think there was a few drivers out there that did as well. What was it? What did you have issues with? Was it tight? Was it loose? What were those issues?
It just didn't feel like I had any grip, any drive off, honestly. I felt good going in the corner, but I was just losing so much space coming out.
Oh,
And yeah, I mean, it was either pushing tight, and then, if you're pushing tight, you get more wheel in it, then you get loose. So I was kind of fighting that battle. But after my tires wore and everybody else's wore, I wore pretty evenly. So I was able to pass a few cars on a long green run.
so your worn tires were actually better than newer tires.
Well, I wouldn't say newer, but I mean, my worn tires are better than the other drivers' worn tires.
Oh wow. Well, hey man, if that's what it takes, you got to do what you got to do.
It got me to win.
Yes, it
If
did.
Willie would have pitted on that last caution, I'm sure he would have won.
Yeah,
But
I think his tires kind of burnt up there, but I'll talk to him about all that. But I think maybe it was tires, and it could have been the pressure got to him. I don't know.
yeah, I had a pretty good battle with Brandon Sheets. That's another 1-2 finish for me and him.
Yeah.
The last one was at Darlington.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Go back. Let's see here. Darlington was way back up there. Golly, where was that at?
Just a couple weeks ago, actually.
Darlington. Yeah, that was round one. Yeah, that's when you
Yeah.
got it. Yep, round one of the chase. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. It's right in front of my face. Uh, well, I mean, you got your Bristol, man. It was an amazing race out here tonight by you guys. You guys put on a show. Next week, round number 4. It looks like we go to a track that real NASCAR was at today, Texas. Hopefully, next week turns out a little better than what today's real race turned out to be. I heard about kind of what happened at Texas Motor Speedway. Man, talk about Texas. It looks like it is the new Texas. So, talk about it. How do you feel about it? With this win going into next week, what's the mindset like, bud?
Well, it's pretty clean. Basically. Only give what the car can give you. Thursday, I did the NIS race here at Texas, 134 laps. So that gave me good practice going into next Sunday to know what I'm looking for.
All right. Well, Kyle, man, again, awesome job out here tonight in the Me Marie Designs 13, grabbing the win. Kyle, I know you got some final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give. So, Kyle, mic's yours, bud.
Yeah, again, big shout out to the league. Big shout out to you and your assistant over there, Will, for being out here. Big shout out to my wife. She holds my household together. Without her, I don't know where I'd be, honestly. Um, and big shout out to Robbie. He puts up with us animals.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Robbie's got his hands full.
Yeah, I'm gonna get another big shout out to Dave. I don't know if he's still out there, if he watches or not, but big shout out to him. Hope he's doing well.
Yeah, me too. We all miss him. Well, all righty, Kyle. Go celebrate the win here tonight, buddy. We'll see you next week in Texas, man.
Yep.
All right. Well, that is going to bring us here to our second place finisher here tonight. He held on to it, was battling Kyle Heath there for a little bit. Brandon Sheets there, buddy. Man, talk about it here tonight. It was a good race, man, but we got to hear from you.
Well, I feel very lucky to be here talking to you. I definitely had a golden horseshoe tonight. It started off actually great. I mean, riding around like top 5, and I felt like I had a pretty good pace, long run car. And then after the stage break, I got wheel damage, so I'm not sure that was hurting my long run pace. It felt fine on the short runs, but then like I'll say about 30 laps into the run, it would just like fall off the map. Like it wasn't even like a gradual fall off. It was just like the right front was gone. So I'm not sure if it's something in my driving style or if that wheel damage is just cooking that right front. But it was definitely a lot of fun out there. Kyle did a great job once again, finishing second behind him for the past 3 weeks. But you know, he's a great guy and makes it feel a little bit better finish second behind him.
Yeah, you know, and it was a battle too because you know, Mark Whitley too. You know, he was battling up there with you guys. And there were several others up there up front here tonight too. That was mixing it up with everybody. I know at one time there was a mixture between the leaders and lap cars as well. How did y'all manage to get around everybody? And what was it like trying to squeeze through, go high, go low during that whole mess?
I think everybody in this league did a great job of like holding their line and just having the awareness and knowing when there's a faster car on fresh tires coming. It was not really that hard. There was a couple of close calls, but I mean it's Bristol, and I mean these guys did a great job. Like just getting out of the way. I had to do it some too. My original plan was with my horrible tire wear, I was going to do 2 short pits just to see what happens because I know I didn't have any long run pace. But with that caution coming out and I was on the lead lap with that short pit, worked out great.
Well, yeah, it definitely worked out great. Bonus points coming to you, of course, coming into tonight, Brandon, in that 3rd spot. 29 points behind Mark, 20 points behind Kyle. Kyle, in second. So, I mean, it just in the first 3 races here, the chase, man, it is a fight, all the way down, even to Chris Paff here in that 4th position, in the point standings. It's a fight here early on, and I think that's going to continue even going into next week's race at Texas. When they paved it, redid it, it changed everything. How do you feel about the new Texas, buddy?
Yeah, a lot of people don't really like the new Texas. I mean, I don't mind it. I mean, I feel like I have pretty good pace there. I think in season 12, I qualified. I showed up really late to the race, and I qualified, I think 4th or top 5. But my internet took a dump, so I wasn't able to race that one. And I didn't race season 13, so I'm looking forward to racing there because I know I got short run pace, so we'll see how the long run pace is.
Yep. We'll find out. Hopefully your internet holds up then next week.
Oh, yeah.
All righty, Brandon. Well, awesome job, P2. Here tonight in the number 2. Reaching out is a sign of strength. So I know you got some final thought shout-outs, things you want to give, Brandon, so I'm going to turn the mic over to you, buddy.
I appreciate you putting this on every week. Everybody watching, my teammates, Chris Poff, Robbie Stewart, and Keith wasn't here tonight, but we missed him tonight. Shout out to Poff. He got a tough break for him right there to that caution coming out. He got caught in that pit cycle a lap down. I think he was like the second car a lap down, so he barely missed the lucky dog and that no late race caution.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sucks for him, but I appreciate our team pushing hard. Me and Pop push each other really hard every week, and that's about it. And then Robbie for the paint scheme.
Beautiful paint out there, running it. I guess the whole month here. So Suicide Prevention Month, September. So you'll be running it pretty much the rest of the week. Probably change it up in October, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, how I've been running with this paint scheme, I might not be taking it off, so we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Yes, sir. All righty, Brady. We'll go celebrate P2 here tonight, buddy. We'll see you next week at Texas, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, that is, as soon as my mouse will work, that is going to bring us down here to Mark Whitley. We're going to be able to talk to him about it tonight. Mark, man, awesome job out there tonight, leading the most laps out there. And, we're going to have to talk about, what you had to go through right here tonight, lap cars. I mean, you had the clean air for the most part, but, tell us what happened, buddy.
Yeah, we're sitting in the catbird seat. We're doing really good. We went a little long on the pit stop. we came back out, it was just going green and getting kind of tired of lap cars deciding races, but that's kind of how it is. And I figured with 60 laps to go, it was probably too soon to take the last set of tires, and obviously that was the wrong call. And I fought them as hard as I could and burnt the crap out of the tires, and they got by me, and I had to fight for third. And not the finish we wanted, but at least still got a top 3.
Yeah, I mean, you had to battle there with John Held. I mean, John, he even made his way up toward the front here too with you. You had to battle him out here tonight, even up in the front area. And you also had to, battle Michael Dewalt. I mean, it seemed like there was battles not only with the lead lap cars, but the lap cars as well. Tires, man, how quickly did they burn up without having to deal with lap traffic? Were they pretty steady?
It just depends on how you took care of them. Being out in clean air, you could take care of them real good. You didn't have to really push the entry. You really let it sit there and rotate and get a good run off. And they felt good pretty much all the way through that long green flag run we had. They never really felt like they were really truly gone. And that last little run there, I just had to push it way too hard. I was trying to just stay in front of Kyle because I knew he was falling off on the longer run, so I was really just trying to stay with him until he fell off. But tires fell off mine. I had to push it too hard, and and you got 20 lap older tires. It kind of happens eventually, and just about holding on at that point. And I think I don't know if John had fresh tires too, or if he just really saved really good on the last run. And we had another couple laps. There wasn't much I really could have done. I was trying to take his line away, and kind of got. Funny enough, got a little help from a couple lap cars that made it where he couldn't really make a move, and we're able to hold on, but not really the result I wanted.
Yeah, he was John Held was about 25 laps newer than yours. Looks like he was out there at about 88 laps. He was out there at about 63, roughly. Looking at my stats here, that could be wrong, but I believe it's close enough. So tires. I mean, Bristol. I mean, those tires, man. They can be good and they can be bad at the same time, depending on how hard you have to race them. So, short track racing right now is done at least for a couple of races. Mark, we do go to the New Texas next week. How do you feel about the New Texas? What do you expect going into that race? Still having some good momentum though going into that race for round number 4.
I couldn't tell you now because it just seems like. Playoff races haven't really been going how the regular season is. Sometimes they go good, sometimes they go bad. I think Texas is another one. I mean, pretty much this next gen, it's all about tires. So as long as you can hold on to the tires, you should be pretty good. We'll just have to see, and hopefully we can catch a break next week. Just on the wrong side of strategy this week, so hopefully next week will be on the other side of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. So just hey, learn from the mistakes each race, and then go to the next one, and then try to do something different. That's basically, what it takes when it comes to racing. So, Mark, good luck. Good luck next week at Texas. Awesome job out here tonight in the Harpoon Design Racing number 77, bud. I know you got some final thoughts, shout-outs, thanks you want to give. So, Mark, mic's yours, buddy.
Yeah, shout out Harpoon Design Brantley. Doing all these awesome paint schemes for me and Gary. Doing the spotting job for me, too. Appreciate him. Check him out at harpoondesign.com or Trading Paints. He's got a bunch on there, too. Shout out to my family tuning in these broadcasted races. Appreciate their support. And then shout out to you putting on a great broadcast. Should be interesting to go back and watch. And then, yeah, I think that's it.
All righty. Yeah, well, I do appreciate the kind words there, Mark. And, yeah, it was exciting for sure, especially when you guys were going through the lap cars. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought for a second, we were probably going to have a mix-up there. But, hey, everybody, for the most part, looks like did a pretty good job there. But man, it got intense there for sure, even for me and Will up here in the booth. So Mark, go celebrate third, keep your head up, man, and good luck next week at Texas. We'll see you there, buddy.
Sounds good.
Yep. All right, Mark Whitley there in that third spot. Now, John Held, we don't interview the 4th and 5th, but I do want to give a big shout out to the Fisherville. Looks like Garage 72. Will, I mean, John Held, man, he flew up through the field, and this dude held on to the top 5 into that 4th spot here. And John, man, I don't know what John had under that hood there here tonight, but he had something.
Yeah, John John is normally a good short track racer from my remembrance, and he clearly showed it tonight up there trying to battle for the lead at one point, drove up as high as second. So, I mean, great racer. Just wish he was able to show up more because he is one fierce competitor. Great drive by him tonight. I do have to agree. If we were giving a driver of the race award, maybe goes to John Held. I might have to say possibly.
Yeah, and I would have to probably agree with you on that one. John Held. We'll bring his driver mark up here real quick. Now, he did not lead any laps, but he was up there battling for it. He did start 12th, top 5 for him in that 4th spot. Michael Dewalt, he did lead 8. He started in 2nd. Kind of fell back to 5th late in the race here, and we'll grab the final top 5. But we're going to get down here to the official results, pending any other admin stuff they have to do here tonight. But our winner here this evening, the Me Marie Designs 13 of Kyle Heath, grabbing the win out here tonight, his 2nd win of the top 16 in the chase. Brandon Sheets going to finish in 2nd after starting 2nd. So, you know, he got up there and finished right where he started. So good job of Brandon there in that second spot. Mark Willie in 3rd here tonight. We just spoke about John Held. Awesome job, John, there in 4th. Michael Dewalt in the 5th position. Brandon Hartwell, too. Big shout out to Brandon. He's going to grab a 6th spot. Chris Paff did fall back and unfortunately ended up 1 lap down with Brandon Hartwell. Them 2 drivers were actually battling for the lucky dog spot just in case they caution was to come out. So, you know, big shout out to Chris there. He will grab a 7th position. Zach Deutscher there in 8th. Gary Slapinski, Nathan Gomez grabbing a top 10 there in 10th. Jeff Gilmore at 11th, Jason Adams 12th, Robbie Stewart 13th, Larry Blair 14th, Jim Coleman Spurger 15th, David Cassidy 16th, Christopher Campbell 17th, Robbie Darnell in 18th, Paul Busco in 19th, and Philip Bridgman in that 20th spot. Dustin Slayers in 21st. Clifton Ashley did not start here tonight. He'll round it out in that 22nd position. But our winner goes to, of course, Kyle Heath here tonight. You know, big shout out to everybody tuning in here tonight. I do see Chris down there in chat here after the race. Chris, awesome job out there tonight, buddy, man. Keep your head up. Got Texas next week, man. Still plenty of races left to go. All the fans out there tuning in, 13 locks out there here tonight. Eric out there, Brandon, Owen County weather updates. My brother, Braden Coos out there, Tara, Brantley Roden. I know we had somebody else out there in chat here too somewhere. Steve Tucker out there in chat, and Brendan Kennedy. So, and everybody else out there that did not chat it up here tonight in chat, but that was tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for the support, not only for myself and MaxspeedTV, but, of course, the Harpoon Design Sim Racing Unleashed Cup Series. And a big shout out to, of course, Robbie Darnell for dealing with these guys out here each week. Robbie, a tough job for Robbie, Will. I mean, he's got not only to do this, but, you know, real life stuff, worrying about, you know, this and that and the other. He's got a lot on his plate. So, I mean,
oh, yes, most definitely.
He deserves, you know, a big, huge shout out as well. And, of course, you will every Sunday night right here with us if you know, are available. It's always good to have that second person in the booth to help call these races. It helps the voice.
Oh, yes, sir. And Joshua, I appreciate you, you know, wanting me to be here with you, helping out. Love calling these races with you. Always a pleasure. You know, you never know what's going to happen in these races. They're always exciting. And I think that's exactly what we saw tonight. We saw a very exciting Bristol race. Everybody was a comer and goer tonight. Like you did not know, even though we had somebody that almost led 200 laps and you thought was a sure winner. Just unfortunately, tire strategy did not fall his way.
It bit him,
but
you know, in the long run, it bit him, and you know
exactly. So
go ahead.
You, no, I was just going to say you never know what motorsport will bring or kind of throw at you, and we saw that a lot tonight,
Yeah.
especially. And going into next week at Texas, I fear it may be a single lane, single groove track, maybe, perhaps. But I feel that these drivers, these competitors, going to widen that track out throughout the evening, and hopefully get some good racing in at Texas. I hope.
Well, let's hope it's not a Kansas or Las Vegas where it's one line, man. I would love to see Texas become, side by side, 2, 3 wide at times. We may see it. We don't know. Going into, we'll have to see how practice, kind of,
Exactly.
shows up and what they're doing in practice. And, those pit parties that they do before the race, they're not shown, but they do pit parties to kind of get an idea of how it's going to, these cars are going to react, when they actually get into racing. So, we'll have some idea, but, that's just a base knowledge. Everything changes when, they get out there, green flag drops, they're hammering down. Everything changes. So we'll
Most definitely,
definitely have to kind of wait and see. But, I got to say, these guys did a fantastic job here tonight at Bristol. Expect the unexpected, folks. Always expect the unexpected, because you just never know what can transpire day to day, week to week, race to race, regardless of where you're at. So, thank you, everybody, again for tuning in here tonight on Max Speed TV. With that said, thank you, everybody. Stay safe and have a good night.